All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are in week 3, and today we're going to go over the zero based budget and your monthly spending plan, and also the 7 baby steps, which we'll go into detail for the next few weeks into each step. Um, Before we get started, I just wanted to, you want to go ahead and speak a little bit about your background?
Yes, I'm Raquel Sanchez. I have more than 18 years in accounting and I have a master in finance. And today, here, I will share with you guys what happened to me when I started doing my budget.
Yeah. And a little background on myself too, just to kind of refresh everybody, is I'm actually in finance. I'm a finance manager for PwC, which is one of the big 4 accounting firms. Been with them for over 10 years now. Just to kind of give a little background and sense on that. All right, so to get started, we're going to go over really quickly on some of the verses that go along with our presentation today, and I feel like it's really going to resonate with you guys. Today, we're going to go over Proverbs 27:17, which states, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I felt like this is really relevant because it's important as you are going through these classes that you are one, you're alongside with other people that are also wanting to better their finances. So, like, as we're going through this together, we are going to hold each other accountable and making sure that, hey, we all have the same goal, same mindset. We're going to get through this together. Proverbs 16:3 states, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." You're deciding to commit your finances to Him. Pray to Him, ask Him, like, what do you want me to do with my finances? This is where you're laying everything out. Everything is out in the open and open for God so that He can assign what you need to do within your finances. Luke 14:28 states, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough month to complete it?" This is in everything that we do. Any big decisions that we're doing regarding money, we need to sit down. We need to, number one, pray. Pray about it. Pray before you do anything. Number two, make sure you look at your finances, your monthly spending plan. Does this make sense for us to go ahead and move forward with this loan or whatever we're doing financially, this big financial move that we're about to make? Does it make sense? And God will give you confirmation. When you go to God for anything, He will give you confirmation. Whether it's looking at your monthly plan and looking at it and saying, "Ooh, numbers don't lie. This does not make sense," or, "Oh, you know what? We can do this." Okay. All right, so we got Proverbs 27:23. "Be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds." This is why this class is so important, because this is going to show transparency of where you are at. You're going to know where you're at in your finances, where you're at, and also making goals. Okay, we're not in the greatest place, or I'm not where I want to be right now. All right, what goals do I need to put in place so that we can get to where we want to be? All right. All right. So we're going to have Rakesh is actually going to start us off in introducing the zero based budgeting.
Yes, thank you. What is a zero based budget? A zero based budget is your total income minus your expenses equals zero. Why does it matter? The Financial Peace University teach that as making a zero based budget give you peace. But you know what? I can tell you, give me so much peace in my life. I was that person that I always wanna achieve a lot because I can from a mother of 5 without a father and she don't have income at all. I was just always focused and go to college. We say like university in my country. Um, buy a house, buy this, and I would just focus in goal and help my family, help my mother. It just I wasn't doing a balance. I wasn't making like even though like I was helping a lot of clients, a lot of people, I I was a mess with my finance. And sometimes it's very important that we sit and we make a balance because when you make a balance, I can tell you, bring me so much peace in my life. I went out without regret. I know that I can take vacation because I was working hard and I was planning for that ahead. No because no, I just want to pay off this. You never end. You never end doing stuff. So when you making that budget, you can save, you can invest, you can give, but with a purpose. You have a guide where your money goes. So for that reason, making your zero-based budget is very important because you tell your money where your money goes. Know your money, control you, because imagine with all this marketing that we have nowadays, it's a lot of emotion, like, oh, I need this. You think that you need this, but no, you don't need it. Even though for me I was so organized, but I was just was focused in goal and reach stuff without make a balance. For that is important. And I will do a question here. Who at the end of the month don't have any money left? Who? Like you spend more than you earn. Okay. A zero-based budget will solve that because you say, okay, I will earn 3,000 next month. But you already will tell your money, okay, this go to saving, this go to my necessity, and this go to give. So you control your money. That's the way to do the zero-based budget. Now we will watch a video. She's speaking English. I'm trying to do my best. If you don't understand something, please let me know. But she will talk about a little bit about the zero-based budget, but we will continue and we will make the zero-based budget today here. It's very simple.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jade Warshaw, and I'm here with the Every Dollar team. Now, one thing you need to know about me is I am a big fan of budgeting, but not just any kind of budget. I'm talking about a zero-based budget. Now, you may not know what that is, but that's okay. I'm going to explain it to you. So, a zero-based budget is when your income minus your expenses equals zero. It does not mean that you have $0 in the bank. A zero-based budget is simply you giving every single dollar an assignment, and I mean every single dollar. So, how do we create a zero-based budget? Here's what we do. First, we're going to list out all of our monthly income. Any way that you're bringing in money, I want you to make a list of it. That's regular paychecks, that's money from side hustles, maybe you're receiving child support or alimony, or maybe you've just done a garage sale and you got a couple of bucks in. Make sure you're adding that to the income category. Next, I want you to go through and list out all of the expenses. Now, this is where it gets tough because we really got to get the old mind working here. We got to think through everything that we're spending money on. Well, number one, we know giving, that's got to be at the top of the list. And then number two, it's got to be savings because we need that buffer between us and life. And then after that, it's those expenses that make your household run. All right, we need to make sure there's money for food, you got to eat. We need utilities, you got to keep the lights on, then shelter, and of course, transportation. Other essentials that come through, like insurance, debt, we can roll those on down the line. All right, so we've gone through the important stuff. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. We need to remember to budget for things like entertainment, fun money, restaurants. This is the good stuff. Maybe it's your aunt's birthday. You want to make sure to put that line item on the budget. This is also a good time to add that sinking fund for Christmas because remember, Christmas comes the same day every year. All right, next you've got to take that income and you've got to subtract that long list of expenses. Now, let's be real. Some of y'all are going to start subtracting those expenses and you're going to run out of money, but you're still going to have a bunch of expenses left. If this happens, that means one of two things or both. It either means that you need to get your income up or you need to decrease some of your expenses or both. Now, some of y'all are going to start subtracting those expenses and you're going to find out that you actually have money left over. Are you kidding me? That's incredible. You've got money left over. Now's a great time to take that money and use it for something productive like paying off debt or even setting aside 3 to 6 months of emergency. The key is keep trimming until you've reached zero. Now, you've worked hard for your money, guys. It should be working hard for you. Every single dollar needs a name and an assignment. So get out there and put that money to work. You got this.
Yes, you got this. Here we have 4 steps. They're very simple, and you just have to think about what is my income. Knowing what is coming in, you can take the decision in the next month or before the month end what is coming out. Like she said, you know how much you can save, how much you can save for your utilities and all your necessities. But if you know how much is your income before the month start, you can put all your percent better because you say, okay, I have just 1,000 for rent, but you put that aside. If you have like in entertainment 500 and you know that you can spend that, don't go out 5 times during the month. Just go 3 times and buy food from the supermarket and make food at home, and that can save you some money there. So no, and I recommend you, if you have like extra side hustle or you are freelancer, try to think about 6 or 3 months your income and take the one that you have less income, because that will save if you have some months that you don't earn enough, so that will let you save for your saving or goals that you have in the future. You will be better in that way. And remember, don't forget to save the 20 to 30% for taxes. That's not your money. You can plan on that. So put that aside, and you can work that, because I know today we will do a sample with 3,000, but everybody have different income. So you can work with that at home, but we will give you all the tools that you can use to do that at home with your family. And here in the binder, you have the percent, your guide. Continue. This is number 2. List all your expenses, but remember, you can list all your expenses just with 1 month. It's better that you check 3 or 6 months your statements, and you are sure what are your expenses every month, and then you can plan for the next month, because sometimes we just focus in 1 month, but in December, or that you have a lot of expenses, or 1 month that you kind of like have a birthday, or or something important to do. If you don't see that, you don't plan ahead for that. So I recommend you go back, check, and budget about that, about what your expenses are. That you can do that at home too with your real number, but today we are going to do it with 3,000 only. Here, let's say that we earn, this is number 3, and this is the whole budget, how you will make your budget. Here you have an example that you can do that at home too. And let's say that you earn after taxes 3,000. We will do our category here, and we will assign the percent there. But you have all that category here in your binder. You see here, you have the sample of the percent. You have that in your binder, and you can use that at home and now too, because it's better that you now try to practice, and then you will be able to do that at home.
Quick question: do you have that in a PDF or something versus having a hard copy that we can use when we're doing the numbers?
What do you mean, the
Like
percentages?
or something, this information.
Yes,
we can,
yes, we'll get into that towards the end. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you'll provide it to us.
Yep.
Okay, it'll
Yes.
make it easier than writing it down.
Yes.
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 Okay. So now we, for giving 10%, 300, saving 10%, 300, and you will do that with all your expenses. You will list this necessary first, remember, but your expenses can be maybe different. But remember that this is a guide that you can change and you can use as a guide for do yours. So at the end, you have for next month your 3,000. You already tell your 3,000 where it goes. So for giving, you tell your like your expenses have to be 3,000. Don't go 3,100, because you know that you will be short in your income. For your saving, the same. That saving can be for pay off your debt, or for investment, or for a plan of vacation. Like in my case, My car is fine, but like in 10 years, I need to buy a car. I start right now saving for my car. I don't have any debt with my car, but I just plan in my budget that every month I have to put 2 or 100 for my future car. When that time arrives, my car is giving me problem. I just have to use my cash because I don't have to take a loan and pay 10% of, you know, lost that money. So when you plan ahead, you have more peace and give you more ability to do stuff because you are planning your goal. Like, okay, I need a vacation. I never took credit card or loan to go on vacation. I better don't go. If I don't have that money ahead, I don't take vacation. I can afford that. So be prepared before you go or before you do any purchase in your life. It's amazing. The same thing here. We said that, but it's very important that if in your budget instead of you spend like 3,000, and you say, "Oh, I have 200 left over. What can I do?" Oh, you can pay off your debt with that 200, or you can do investment, or you can give more. It just be creative, and when you start, it's not easy. I know because it's another number, but with the time, it's just automatically because after 2 times you doing it, you will just automatically you will think about okay, and nowadays let me tell you, you put automatically like I have Sophie and I have Bowl, like I have my saving, but I have Bowl like for my car from my saving automatically every month. I don't have to touch it. That go automatically. I don't have to deal with that. One thing that helped me too is like I don't think about, oh, I didn't pay my credit card. I have to pay interest. No, put that automatically. Can be your statement, your balance statement, or if you can pay all of them, pay the minimum automatically. Set that automatically because that give you peace and it's kind of like help you manage better your finance.
Yeah. And you will have peace if you've done this already of studying like, okay, how much is going where? You've already assigned every dollar a job. Then you can go ahead and do those automatic payments and it will give you peace that you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, I didn't pay this bill or this bill. But you'll have peace because you've already made a plan. Now, if you don't have a plan, I don't recommend automatic payments. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
But this is why a plan is so important.
Yes. And the same thing if you are spending over. Oh, I spend 200 more. This is an example, but let's say that you spend 4,000 more. It's just you were doing things that you can afford. Like you were going to restaurant because you don't want to cook at home and save that money. If you went 10 times, you have to reduce that because you are not working aligned with your income. You are not working aligned with your budget, and that causes a lot of ansiedad, anxiety, a lot of distraction. It's just the money is control you. You are not controlling. You don't have the control of your money, but the zero-based budget will help you. And let me tell you, work for me and work for a lot of people around me. I changed their life, even though they earn 4 times more than me. They don't have emergency fund. They don't have nothing. But nowadays, they are celebrating because they have their emergency fund. They were able to pay off their debt because they are checking their expenses and doing their budget because they're planning ahead. It's not easy, but as soon as you start, you can see different.
Mm-hmm. And you have peace.
Mm-hmm. Here it's just different expensive. It's just kind of like a guide for you guys. Like you can see utilities, food, different expenses that you can have. And
yeah, these are examples.
Examples, yeah, that's for you just to use that. And this is the last step, but not the least. This is the most important one. Why? Because if you don't track, if you don't see where your money goes, how you can take action and change the next budget for the next month? How? It's just you are working with the marketing. Oh, you need to buy that because everybody is selling nowadays. Everybody wanna sell. But when you have control, you oh no, 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 no. I can afford this right now. I really need this. This is aligned with my budget. This is my goal. And God tell you, no, it's not the time. But you have the control of your money. So track your expenses. Every week, I recommend you sit with your family, talk to them, and tell them, hey, this is our goal. Let's work together. And that will help you achieve all your goals in your life. This is the most important one. Track.
And then I also want to give an example too of, when she mentioned getting your whole family involved. If you have kids, it's important to get them involved as well. You don't have to give them all the nitty gritty details, but like get them involved in where you guys are at right now and where you guys want to be. And in order to get to where you want to be, these are the things that we need to do and changes that we need to make. And I say that because my husband and I went through that when he went through a layoff at his job. It used to be almost at least once a month or twice a month that we would go to SeaWorld. And my son loves SeaWorld. But when that happened, we had to have a sit down conversation with him and let him know, hey, honey, we are not going to be able to at this time go to SeaWorld for the next few months. We're praying that daddy is gonna get another job. God's gonna bring this job to him. So we're praying for that and we're believing in it. But temporarily we have to hold on this for right now. It's not forever, it's just temporary. So he understood that, and then it was just so amazing because then he started praying over his daddy's job. It wasn't just to go to SeaWorld, but that was on his mind too. Like, I want to go back to SeaWorld again all the time, like we used to. And so, that's where it's important to just get your kids involved, let them understand. I had a couple before that used to get everything for the kids that they wanted, but then their finances were not in line with it. And it was just a sore thing for them. They just could not tell them no. And I'm like, this is why it's so important to just have a sit down conversation with them, explaining where you're at right now, the changes that you want to make so that you guys can be in a better place as a family. Mm-hmm. So, you had a great example too with your fiance.
Yes, my fiance. He was earning like 4 times my salary. And then when we met, he was just paying the 28% in your credit card. I was in shock because I never do that. And I was like, what's going on? So he was just buying stuff, like, everything. And I was, you need to start killing this credit card. You need your emergency fund. And he was having like a lot of
anxiety.
Yes, and I was like, oh my God, well, I don't know what to do with that. So you need therapy. But let me tell you. But let me tell you what helped him. He was able to pay all his credit card. He had 3 cars in his house. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? He sold 1 car and he sold all the stuff that he paid off his credit card, but still he was just having like, but you earn so much money, like what's going on? So I checked his statements. He was paying like his current balance. And I said, no, pay just the balance of the statement. You don't have to pay. Oh, I didn't know that. And he's engineer. But anyway, he was able to pay just his statement balance and kind of like, go ahead with everything. He saved his emergency fund. He's able to get rid of all his credit card, and he's so happy. And let me tell you, and God, thank God, he is out of all that anxiety. He don't have that anymore. He don't have to go to therapy. And
he has a plan. And not only does he have
and we're getting married.
He had goals of saving.
Not because of that, but yeah, he's getting better. Yeah. And uh-huh.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to add something to you that I think is important because I'm a father of four. Our children, as you were mentioning, need to get involved with the process because they also need to understand the value of money.
Yes.
You know, because you got to differentiate with them. Do you want this or do you need it?
Mm-hmm.
And until they don't feel, you want that new
Phone.
iPhone is going to cost $1,000 or whatever. Having them realize this is what it's going to cost.
Yes.
They can get involved with that. So I think that's a great point and needs to be elaborated on. They
That's
need
right.
to know the value of money.
That's
Mommy
right.
and daddy are not going to be there forever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and
So,
pray always, and do your budget because that will help you a lot.
all right. So I'm going to go really quickly into the 7 baby steps. We're going to go into each of these baby steps for the next few
Thank
weeks.
you.
So each week will be specifically on each of the baby steps to go into
thank
detail. And then I'm going to go over a tool that I created. If you guys want to use it, I feel like it's been very helpful to a lot of people. You're more than welcome to use it. He'll be sending the link out, but I'm going to go over on how to use the tool if you guys would like to use this tool. All right, so baby step number 1 is save $1,000 cash in emergency fund. Baby step number 2, pay off all debt using the debt snowball. Baby step number 3, put 3 to 6 months of expenses into savings as a full emergency fund. Baby step number 4, invest 15% of your household income into Roth IRAs and tax-favored retirement plans. Baby step number 5, save for your children's college if that is applicable for you. Baby step number 6, pay off your home early. And baby step number 7, build wealth and give, which is my favorite, which is the part that I'm excited about. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started to go over this tool. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now, this may look very familiar to you because it is in your binder. We have the PDF version in the binder of going ahead and setting up your budget, which we just talked about right now. Number 1 is going ahead and getting your income and calculating what your income is. So right here is where you would put your income. You can say it would probably be Giovanna, or is it not Sharon? Oh, sorry. It didn't apply it. Key changes. There we go. You see it? There we go. All right. So here is the budget sheet that's in your binder. So basically what you would do is exactly what you're doing. Who started on the monthly spending plan? Just one. Okay, very good. All right. So what you would do, the number 1 step that we talked about is getting the income and going ahead and adding your income here, all the income that's coming in to your household. So this could be Giovanna's income, Jarrell's income, put those amounts here. And then if you have any other incomes, you can list those categories out on however you want to make the description be. All right, so then I'm going to put the amounts that's coming in every month of income here. Is going to calculate the total income at the bottom here. Step number 2. And before we get to step 2, actually, I want to put like step 0, I guess you could say. The very first one is pray before you do this. Literally, pray. Pray before you start this and then start going into it. I wanted to give that side note because that's something that's so important to us. All right. And then, so we have expenses now that we're going to list out, which is step number 2. We have fixed costs. This column right here is going to list out all your expenses that are every single month in the same amount that's coming out. So you can list out your categories here. You can either use these or you can change them and edit them. And then towards the bottom here is semi-variable costs, which are your expenses that are every single month, but maybe a different amount, such as electricity or water. Those are examples of expenses that would be the same, like you have it every month, but it's a different amount. All right, so we're going to go down here, and this is the next variable, is the highly variable costs. These costs are anything that is, it's not every single month, but you want to account for it for when it does come through. So this could be gifts, or if you for birthdays, you can put that in here, or you could have like a gift savings account up here that you pour into every single month, but you still want to have a category of it going out. All right. So once you get that in place, you go ahead and put all your categories here, all your expenses. Then we're going to go ahead and go 3 to 6 months back and take an average of each of those categories of how much you're spending. You're going to put that average amount into this budget column here. And once you do that, now it's time to, one last thing actually. Once you put everything in here, you're going to want to make sure that down here is at 0, which is what we teach on. The last thing is making a zero-based budget. This needs to be 0 at the end. You've assigned every single dollar a job in your spending plan. Another thing I wanted to point out real quick is we assigned everything, right? I have $263.83 left. I'm going to put this is the extra that I have, and I'm going to dump this into our savings. You can go into savings because we're going to talk about that later, about putting that towards your goals of whether it's paying off debts, investments, wherever you are at this time. All right. All right. So you'll notice here on this side, the variances, you're going to see green. That means we haven't spent that money yet. So I'm going to go to the actual example that has expenses into it. Has anybody ever used a checkbook, by the way? No? Back in the day? Back in the day, a long time ago, we used to write everything down and do the math ourselves, and maybe even made a little mistake on the math because, here this is basically a digital register. So right here, we're going to put all of our expenses on this digital checkbook here. You're going to put the date, the category that you're going to use, and just FYI, all the categories that you're entering in this sheet right here, everything that you're updating or taking away, when you go to this drop down, it automatically flows into it. So that when you're doing your checkbook, you're assigning a category to each expense that you are charging or withdrawing. So over here, we have the date, we got groceries, we got from Sam's Club, we spent $175. Another thing I should have stated towards the beginning is the starting balance here. This is going to be the cash that you have at hand right now. So whatever the cash is that's in your checking account right now, you're going to put that amount here. So once you put that amount there, like I said, you're going to use this just like a register. You're going to start putting your transactions in. We have income here. And as you're putting this income in here, the $796.15, it's going to add to your cash balance. As you're adding all your expenses coming through, it's going to withdraw. It's going to subtract from your cash balance. So this is going to be your true cash balance of where you are at as you are putting each of your expenses in for the month. I highly recommend, for me, I do this daily because ideally you shouldn't have a ton of transactions in one day, ideally. And so I'll put it in daily to see like, okay, we're at this much of cash. This is our cash balance. The other nice thing is as you're putting all these transactions in, just like a checkbook, you're going to go to your spending plan, and it is going, this actuals column here is pulling in everything that you've been spending into here and calculating it. And then it's subtracting from what you budgeted to see, did you go over budget? So like this one's red right here. $50 to Kingdoms Builder. We did not budget for it though. That just shows we did not budget for it. So we need to budget for that. So this is where you're going to go ahead and analyze and see, okay, how am I doing right now so far in the month? Remember, you plan your budget before the month starts. So as you're going in here, you're like, okay, this is red. Why is this red? What happened here? Another thing is if you go to like electricity, say you went over on your electricity. Maybe you had family over at the house for that month, right? Make a note for yourself as to why that was over budget. Because then that's something that you don't need to adjust. It's just we had a one-off, a miscellaneous activity that happened that month that we had people over, so electricity was a little more than that month. The other thing I want to go ahead and point out is as you're going ahead and putting everything in here, you also have a dashboard here that is going to show you, this is your breakdown of what you budgeted. So you can see like where is most of my money going to. Obviously here it is mortgage, and actually mortgage is the big one right here. And then also here it gives you your percentages of what you budgeted versus your actual percentages and then the variance. Like this is negative here, but that's only because that's the baby step. All right. Then here, this is your actual right now. This is if you're a visual person and say like this is too much for you because it's too many numbers, too much to look at. You can go to this dashboard here and look at your budget versus actuals, and it shows you on the red line is everything that you budgeted, and then the blue bars are your actuals that's come through. So you'll be able to see here if I went over. And so like here, if this was like electricity, for example, we went over here. You can see this is past the red line. So this is just tips and tricks on how to analyze, and then you're like, okay, anything that I went over, let me go back to here. Where can I make an adjustment? Where do I have money still that I can take away from if I can and make adjustments to bring my balance, in a good place? So this you can take action as you go through the month to make sure you don't go negative. So
Where did you say the PDF was on this?
it's not in this one. So the sample one that we send out, it's got the percentages on a tab.
Did you say that you sent out in the church app?
Yes. Yes. It's in the church app. So every week you should be getting weekly, and it's also in the binder, by the way. I don't know if you see it.
Can you go over how that helps you with the percentage breakdown?
What do you
How
mean?
you can use the percentage breakdown against the recommended?
Oh yeah. You can go to here, your dashboard, and see what you have budgeted and are you in line with what is recommended in there. Now, mind you, the recommended percentages in there, those are just examples of certain categories. All of that is not going to add up to 100% because those are just recommended. Like, let me see. I don't have a binder, but it's in the binder. Yep. Trying to go over that. Thank you. All right. So this is actually right before your monthly spending plan. So it's right before. So you have your recommended percentages, and these, like I said, these are just the recommended percentages. You could be at 15%, but when you go into your budget, you might be going over on the bottom, and you're like, okay, well then maybe we need to go on the lower side of the recommended percentages. So let me get this back to you.
Sharing the Excel file?
Yes, we're gonna send it out on the weekly recaps that he sends out. He's gonna send out the link to these samples. Now, what you're gonna do is when you get the link, you're gonna click into the link, and when you click into the link, you're only gonna have view access because it's a template, and we don't want you putting your information in there and then everybody can see it. So you're gonna go here. You're gonna go to File, Make a Copy. And then you're going to save it. It's going to save it to your Google folder. So only you are going to have access to that file. Only you. And then if you want, insight with us, you can always connect with any one of us and we can, help you guys with answering any questions that you may have. If you have any questions as you're going ahead and using this tool and filling it out, let me know. I'm more than happy to connect with you as well. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Are the formula protected or can I adjust it?
The formula, you can adjust it.
Okay, so
Yeah. Another thing here is we have ties. I have ties embedded in this. Remember, we promote tithing 10% on your gross. So you can just update. I have this 10% based on here, but this can be changed to your 10% gross of your income. All right. I'm going to close this out, sweetie. If there's no questions, any questions?
Guys, we're available if you guys want to connect and talk through any further details. But thank you, Raquel. Thanks, Giovanna, for leading us today. I know that this is really where the meat of it is, right? So now you have your game plan. Where was your starting point? How you're going to implement a game plan that's unique to your financial situation so that you can start to accomplish some goals. Now, for the rest of the semester, you have the opportunity to see how this is working for you so that you can do just that, what she's showing. Analyze and make adjustments that are going to help you to become more intimate with your finances. And then by the end of this, you got 8 weeks left. Now you really know where your spending habits are and what habits that you may need to address and what you're working with your financial situation so that you can really fine tune your stewardship as you leave the class. And that makes you better off, as a steward before you were in this class, and then what happens after this class is obviously where the bigger blessing is for what we pray for, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this, guys. We're available for any questions if you have anything for us. Lord, thank you so much for blessing us with this again with this opportunity for us to fellowship and learn together, Lord. We pray as we receive your word, your guidance, Lord, that you give us courage, that you give us strength, that you give us diligence and focus as we take these actions that we know are rooted in your word for us as a source of truth, Lord. And we ask that as we plant these seeds into our lives, our financial futures, into our families, Lord, that you see our hearts, that you bless us, Lord, that you open those doors, that you reveal to us what your will is for us and the guidance that you have for us. And we ask that you work on us individually and in our marriages, Lord, that we may have hearts to receive that guidance and act on it, Lord. And those seeds that we plant, Lord, may they become good fruit for your kingdom. May they bless us, and may they bless those around us as well, even those that are observing that we don't even realize it, Lord. May we be a catalyst for your victory, Lord, to spread your gospel in others through the example of this journey that you set us on, Lord. We love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thanks, guys. God bless you.
Yes.